Former President Trump liable for sexual abuse, the jury reaching that verdict in just under 3 hours earlier today.
And joining us now to break it all down is attorney Imran Ansari, a former Brooklyn assistant DA. Imran, thanks for joining us. I think first question, what's your thoughts on the verdict?
Well, it was swift justice down there in court in Lower Manhattan today. The jury had the case just for a matter of hours after closing arguments and receiving the instructions from the judge as to the charges. And it was a pretty quick verdict. They came back with a unanimous verdict against Donald Trump in this civil case. So this is not a criminal case, a civil case, finding him civilly liable for sexual abuse in the context of a civil battery claim and also defamation, awarding $3 million in damages for the defamation part and $2 million in damages for the battery aspect of the claim. It was a swift verdict, and I think really the way the case unfolded, it wasn't that surprising that this jury found this way.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the distinction of what they did find him liable for and what they did not, and how you think that's going to sort of impact the how this whole situation is being viewed by both those for and against him.
Sure. So, of course, Jean Carroll claimed that Donald Trump had raped her. So there's different legal definitions to the claims that she made against Donald Trump. So rape versus sexual abuse, they're two distinct charges under the law. They found that she did not prove that she was raped by Donald Trump in this civil battery context, but that she was sexually abused by him. And to make out the claim legally of sexual abuse, it really has to be simply unwanted touching of a sexual nature from one individual to another. Then in the battery context, that would be an unwanted physical touching, which was harmful or offensive. Those were the elements that they found against Donald Trump. They didn't find that he raped her in this civil context, but that he sexually abused her. That made out one aspect. The other aspect would be the defamation, and they found that she made her case out against Donald Trump, that he defamed her, calling her a con job, along with other alleged defamatory statements. Jury found for that. And basically, this makes up the liability portion of this case, then awarded her, of course, $5 million in total in damages. I think those against Donald Trump, those who are not supporting him, will find that this is going to be a case that's going to be telling in some of the other legal problems that he is facing. Of course, the separate and distinct criminal case he's facing, but this is really a part and parcel of all the totality of legal woes against Donald Trump. Of course, those who support him will likely be rallying behind him and saying that this was a wrongful verdict. It was a verdict which is just part and parcel, if you will, of the legal attack against Donald Trump that's politically motivated, as they say. And I think they're going to be saying that this was a miscarriage of justice and really part of the witch hunt that Donald Trump is saying is legally being forced against him.
Yeah, words that we've already heard Joe Tacopina, his lawyers, say in front of the courthouse today. All right, Imran Ansari, always great to see you and get your feedback on today's verdict. Thank you.